several million Americans are losing access to the internet because of Republicans in Congress, because of Mike Johnson specifically. Now, this was legislation that originally was passed, the early version of this was passed when Donald Trump was president during the pandemic. And it was called the ACP, the Affordable Connectivity Program. And what it does is it provides you with cable for roughly $30 a month, which, by the way, is what cable costs in most of Europe, right? At least in France. The New York Times had a whole long piece about that. I've shared this with you in the past. But, you know, if you are making up to 200% of the federal poverty line, they're currently for the family of four, that's $31,000 is the federal poverty line. So if you're making up to $62,400 a year, then you qualify for this $30 a month internet if you've got a family of four. And, you know, subsidies of up to $75 a month on tribal land, too. And this was part of the budget that Trump enacted in 2020. The FCC made the money available as a subsidy. And today, this program is helping 23 million Americans, 1 in 5 households across America. It has particularly benefited rural communities, veterans, and elderly Americans who are least likely to have access to high-speed internet at an affordable price. And today, the program ended. Now, in October of last year, in October of 2023, the White House sent a supplemental budget request to Congress, which included $6 billion to extend this program through the end of this year. And, you know, the benefits have been substantial. In fact, one academic study published in February of this year found that, quote, for every dollar spent on the ACP, the nation's GDP increased by $3.89. In other words, giving people access to high-speed internet actually increases economic activity because they can do things on the internet they couldn't do otherwise. But Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, refuses to bring that bill to the floor for a vote. Now, the bill has 225 co-sponsors, which means, I mean, that's Democrats and Republicans, which means that if Johnson brought it to a vote, it would pass. So why is he not bringing it to a vote? Well, because of this thing called the Republican Study Committee, which Johnson used to be the chairman of. The Republican Study Committee is this group of hardcore right-wing reactionary Republicans funded by right-wing billionaires who believe that any kind of government program just creates dependency on government and increases taxes on billionaires and therefore shouldn't exist. And now their latest budget says that we stand against the ACP and label it a, quote, government handout that disincentivizes prosperity. Right. 1 out of every 3 households in Speaker Mike Johnson's Louisiana district is getting subsidies through this program. 1 out of 3. 90,447 people in his district. And yet he's killing it. It's dying today, refusing to bring it to the floor, because the billionaires who fund him and the Republican Study Committee say, we don't like any kind of government program that gives things to low-income people, because it has to be paid for, and it has to be paid for with our tax dollars, and we oppose them.